What is it to be a liberal and not confused? Sargon takes on Islam in this video, in a series of videos critiquing other cultures and progressive dogma. It is interesting to see Sargon criticize what is essentially sexual freedom in this instance and give reasons as to why.
Married 2 women in one day went viral. He was hailed as a hero by the public, and the country's media was gripped with polygamy fever. Azar Hydri, 23, was hailed as a hero for daring to marry 2 of his first cousins, so they would not have to go through the guilt of
So main reason for Sargon to criticize this Pakistani marriage seems to be that it is polygamous and incestuous, which is funny, for Sargon fails to comprehend that polygamy is indeed too much of a progressive agenda in reality to be part of his satire. Isn't it interesting to think that if gender test is wrong for marriage, a number test should be as well? Isn't love love if it is towards more than one person? One may interject here that Sargon's issue is not polygamy, but the idea that only men can marry several women and not vice versa. But that in itself is not an argument against polygamy. And isn't polygamy better than polyamory? By a feminist standard, wherein at the very least women enjoy financial security? Now, one might say that Sargon wants to critique the relationship because it is incestuous. Of course, Islamic law forbids only closely incestuous relationships. Let's check Western law on that. In fact, if you compare Islamic law to Western law, Islamic law is actually sterner in many cases. It also includes nieces on both maternal and paternal sides, aunts on both sides, and even foster mothers and stepdaughters. While in many liberal countries only marriages or sex between siblings, half siblings, and lineal descent is illegal. Now, one may reply that it is actually a good thing to liberalize incestuous sex. However, people should still not have incestuous sex. Of course, decriminalization and legalization does not mean something is good to do. Let's look at porn search results of Europe to see what Europe really likes. Maybe all this is because of Muslim population. Let us look at Poland. Poland is against Muslim immigration sternly. However, just because you fetishize something does not mean you do it. Of course, the difference is the real world incestuous sex leads to genetic defects. Sargon has something to share about this. Let's watch.
And of course, the lucky brides were both thrilled with the arrangement. I am happy we both love the same. Carries significant risks, and that science has proven that it increases the risk of birth defects up to tenfold, which is why the British Pakistani community sees a massive increase in the number of children born with genetic disabilities.
Indeed, first cousin marriages and sex are bad in this sense because of health consequences. But wait, where we have heard this type of argument before? In 2014, gay, bisexual, and other men who have sex with men accounted for 83% of primary and secondary syphilis cases, where sex of sex partner was known in the United States. In USA, 1.8% of men self-identify as gay and 0.4% as bisexual. So around 2.2% population accounts for 83% of syphilis cases. Isn't that bad too? Actually much more serious? Obviously one should look into it and make a documentary, like Sargon, putting USA or even Europe as the subject of discussion. But instead, we get pride parades and glorification of homosexuality. But what if one says that such is because while homosexual sex, though harmful in its consequences, is at least on oneself, while the effect of incest is on babies, though STDs spread to other person, and California has also been liberalizing intentional spreading of HIV. However, considering the effect on babies, this argument does not provide any hope. If you understand that in UK 20% of all fetuses are aborted, is this really about children? If not, what is it really about? Is something to consider.